Hello students, welcome to the digital lecture series of Bajaj College of Science, Varda. We have discussed some portions of ionic equilibrium, and now we have to move towards an important topic of ionic equilibrium, that is hydrolysis. And the main focus is the salt hydrolysis. So this is the fifth lecture of ionic equilibrium. So the first topic that we have to discuss in this lecture is the Le Chatelier's principle. If a reaction at equilibrium is subjected to change in pressure, temperature, or concentration, the equilibrium shifts to that direction in which the effect of the change is minimized. So now this is the statement of Le Chatelier's principle. So whenever you try to disturb the equilibrium of a reaction by any means, by changing pressure or by changing temperature or by changing the concentration of the reactants, then what happens? There is a shift in equilibrium in that direction so that the effect of the change is minimized. So for example, see, there is one example shown here. What is happening here? The weight of this particular, initially the reaction was in equilibrium. Yes, this is equilibrium. When we increase the weight on this side, reaction shifts to this side. And again, to bring it back to this equilibrium, we have to increase the weight on this side. So this is the simplest example of equilibrium. Now see, one more example is shown here. What is shown here? The blue colored molecules are the molecules of A. The red color spheres or circles, they are the molecules or atoms of B. And black colored, these two circles or two spheres combined together, that is the molecules AB. What is happening? See, this is the low pressure state. In this low pressure state, when we increase the pressure, what is happening? The reaction is going towards forward direction, that is A plus B becoming AB. And when the pressure is lowered, so when we are going from high pressure state to a low pressure state, again these AB molecules, they are dissociating to form A and B atoms. So what happens generally? Initially, the reaction was at equilibrium. When we increase the pressure, the reaction moved towards the forward side, forward direction. And when we decrease the pressure, it again moved in the backward direction. So increase of pressure has shifted the equilibrium towards the right side, and decrease of the pressure shifts the equilibrium towards the left side. So this is the Le Chatelier's principle, and same principle is applicable in ionic equilibria. And the application of Le Chatelier's principle in ionic equilibria is nothing but the common ion effect. The presence of common ions in a solution of a weak acid or a base will suppress the dissociation of the acid or the base. So that is nothing but the common ion effect. So we will understand it with the help of some examples. For example, if uh, you want to prepare an aqueous solution of acetic acid, in the absence of any ions inside the water, acetic acid will dissociate to certain small extent. But if you add acetic acid in a dilute solution of HCl, which is hydrochloric acid, which will be containing a large number of H plus ions, then the dissociation of acetic acid will be completely suppressed. In the absence of HCl, some molecules of acetic acid dissociate, but in the presence of HCl, that is in the presence of H plus ions, not a single molecule of acetic acid will dissociate. So that is the common ion effect. So see here, in various terms, it is tried to explain the Le-Chatelier's principle. The first point explained here is the concentration. So if reactant concentration is increased, what will happen? The equilibrium position shifts to reduce the reactant concentration. If you whenever a reaction is at a stage of equilibrium, what will happen? If you try to increase the reactant concentration, तो इक्विलिब्रियम का क्या कोशिश करेंगे? इक्विलिब्रियम विल गो इन दैट डायरेक्शन so that the concentration of reactants will be decreased. So reaction will go into the forward direction. Reaction forming products will be favored if you try to increase the concentration of reactants. On the other hand, if you try to increase the concentration of products, आप बाहर से अगर प्रोडक्ट ऐड कर रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल ये रिएक्शन दिखाया है आपको A+2B reversibly giving C+D. So if you add either A or B, what will happen? The reaction will go into the forward direction. But on the other hand, if you try to add C or D from external sources, what will happen? The reaction will go into the backward direction. So reaction goes in such a way to reduce the concentration of products. So आप अगर रिएक्टेंट का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन इंक्रीज करना चाहते हैं तो इक्विलिब्रियम ऐसे डायरेक्शन में जाएगा सो दैट कॉन्सेंट्रेशन ऑफ रिएक्टेंट्स इज डिक्रीज्ड. या फिर अगर आप प्रोडक्ट का कॉन्सेंट्रेशन बाहर से ऐड करके इंक्रीज करेंगे तो equilibrium will shift into such a direction so as to decrease the concentration of product. So that is the explanation of this Le-Chatelier's principle when concentration is changed. On the other hand, temperature. See, generally, suppose A+2B giving C+D. Suppose it is an exothermic reaction. And A reacts with 2 atoms of B, giving this product C and D. So if this is an exothermic reaction, in such a case, what will happen? If you increase the temperature, the reverse reaction will be favored. The reverse reaction is reaction of C plus D giving the reactants A and 2B. So why this is happening? See, in the exothermic reaction, the system gives out the temperature during the exothermic reaction. So there is a transfer of heat from system to the surrounding. But if the temperature is increased, if the surrounding temperature is very high, there will be no transfer of heat from system to surrounding. What will happen? There will be reverse way will takes place. Heat will transfer from surrounding to the system, and when this temperature is absorbed or heat is absorbed, heat is absorbed from surrounding, endothermic reaction takes place, and reaction of C and D to form reactants A plus B, it is the endothermic reaction. So at higher temperatures, when temperature is increased, the equilibrium will move into the backward direction. That is, products themselves, they will react to form the reactants again. But on decreasing the temperature, what will happen? There will be easy transfer of heat from system to surrounding, and hence exothermic reaction will be favored. That is the forward reaction. reaction of reactants A plus 2B to give C and D, it will be favored. Now, same point we can explain with pressure also. Already we have discussed the pressure. Generally, the factor of pressure comes into, it plays important role in case of gaseous state reaction, and factor of concentration plays important role in case of aqueous reaction or reactions which are carried out in the aqueous medium, that is dissolved in water state. So whenever for a gaseous reactions, that is our, for example, reactants, they are gaseous. If we increase the pressure, then what happens? Gases gets compressed. And when gases gets compressed, what will happen? They will combine together to form bigger molecules. So, or lesser number of molecules, fewer molecules, it will be formed. So for example, if you take the example of hydrogen and oxygen. So hydrogen and oxygen, both of them, they are in the gaseous state. And if they combine together, they form water, which is generally in the liquid state. So on increasing pressure on hydrogen and gaseous, they are more likely to get converted into water, which is having a less volume. So the forward reaction will be favored. So same thing is happening here. What is happening here? There are more number of molecules on the left side or more number of species on the left side. And when you increase the pressure, what happens? This more number of reactant molecules will combine together to form less number of product molecules. On the other hand, if we decrease the pressure, what will happen? The equilibrium will shift in such a direction to nullify that change. यानी क्या करेंगे? वेन अब जब अपन प्रेशर इंक्रीज करना चाहते हैं तो एक तरीका रहता है रिएक्शन सिस्टम के पास, क्योंकि हर एक पार्टिकल का कंट्रीब्यूशन रहता है प्रेशर के अंदर. एवरी इंडिपेंडेंट पार्टिकल contributes to the pressure. Now here there are number of particles are 3. One particle of A and 2 particle of B. Here particle may be an atom, ion or molecule. And now when we increase the pressure, system will try to modify so as to maintain the constant pressure, and hence these reactants will combine to form only 2 particles which will contribute less, and hence the pressure will be less. On the other hand, if we decrease the pressure, what will happen? The system will again try to maintain the pressure, and while trying to maintain the pressure, what will happen? It will try to increase the number of particles so that the pressure is maintained. So again, these products will be converted into reactants, that is 3 particles. So that is the Le-Chatelier's principle, and now we will study it in case of ionic equilibrium, especially the common ion effect. So when a strong acid, it supplies the common ion H3O plus. Now I have already told you what will happen. Suppose if this is acetic acid, CH3COOH. So this is acetic acid. Acetic acid, when it is added to water, what will happen? It will react with water and it will form H3O plus ions and acetate ions. But in such a solution of acetic acid, where very few molecules of acetic acid are dissociated to form H3O plus ions, hydronium ions and acetate ions. ऐसे अगर solution में अगर अपन dilute solution of HCl, which is a strong acid, which will contain a very high concentration of H3O plus, अगर वो हमने add कर दिया, तो what will happen? Some of these H3O plus ions additionally added, they will react with the acetate ions and the backward reaction will take place. And what will happen? Again, acetic acid molecules and water molecules will be formed. So that is the effect of addition of common ion. So whenever a common ion is added to a solution of a weak acid, the dissociation of weak acid is suppressed, and whatever these weak acid molecules they are dissociated to form their anions, those anions will react with these hydronium ions, and again undissociated molecules they will be formed. Now when a strong base supplies the common ion OH minus, the equilibrium shifts to form more NH. Here see, ammonia is a very weak acid, very weak base. It reacts with water to form NH4 plus and OH minus. And whenever some strong base is added like NaOH, suppose a dilute solution of NaOH is added to a solution of ammonium hydroxide, aqueous solution of ammonium hydroxide, what will happen? Those OH minus, additionally added OH minus will react with NH4 plus, and what will happen? That again we will get the reactants, and the reaction will move towards the left side. So presence of common ion decreases the dissociation of a weak acid or a weak base. So the dissociation of weak electrolytes is highly suppressed by presence of a common ion. Now, after understanding the concepts of Le-Chatelier's principle and common ion effect, we will discuss what is salt hydrolysis. Now, what is hydrolysis? Literally, it is nothing but breaking of water. And hence the salt hydrolysis is nothing but the breaking of water by a salt. Now you know that acid reacts with base to form salt and water. But sometimes what may happen, the salt can react with water to form again acid and base. So see, one of the example is shown here. So one of the example is shown here, and that example is nothing but the example of NH4 plus cations. NH4 plus cations in the solution of ammonium hydroxide in water. So NH4 plus ions can react with water molecules to get ammonia and hydronium ions. Here what is happening? One of the hydrogen, yes, it is donated, one of the H plus, it is donated to water. And here see what is happening. CH3CO minus, it is reacting with H3O plus to give CH3COH and water. So the reaction of cations or anions of a salt with water molecules to produce undissociated base or acid molecule, it is called as salt hydrolysis. Now, important points related with the hydrolysis is that it is nothing but the reverse of acid-base neutralization. So salt hydrolysis is nothing but the reverse of neutralization, acid-base neutralization. And whenever this salt hydrolysis takes place, what happens? The salt it reacts with water to form the cations and anion. So as the neutralization is exothermic process, the hydrolysis has to be the endothermic process. So it takes place by absorption of heat. So during the neutralization, you know that there is an evolution of heat, but during the hydrolysis, there is an absorption of heat from the surrounding. The hydrolysis of cation is the reaction of cation with water to form its conjugate base and hydronium ions. Again, the hydrolysis of anion is the reaction of anion with water to form its conjugate acid and hydroxide ions. See, cation being a proton donor, it can act as the acid, and hence it will donate its proton to water, and it will form its conjugate base and hydronium ions. On the other hand, the anion, it will accept the proton from water and convert water into hydroxide ions, and the anion being a proton acceptor, it will act as the base, and hence it will get converted into its conjugate acid. We will see some examples. See here, Ha is a acid, and because it will donate H plus, it is a proton donor. According to Lowry-Bronsted concept or Lowry-Bronsted theory, a proton donor is an acid and proton acceptor is a base. So here Ha, it will donate its proton to B, and Ha gets converted into A minus, which is the base. Now this base is called as the conjugate base of Ha. So Ha and A minus, it forms the conjugate acid base pair. So acid and its anion is a conjugate acid base pair according to Lowry-Bronsted concept, and base and its conjugate acid, it is also, and the base and its cation, it is also the conjugate acid base pair. Now, if interesting thing is that if this acid is strong, for example HCl, then its anion will be a weak base. For example, Cl minus, that is chloride, it is a very weak base. So inside the conjugate acid base pair, if acid is strong, then the conjugate base, that is A minus, it will be weak. For example, in case of HCl, which is a strong acid, which donates the proton, it is a H plus donor, and when HCl, in case of HCl, its conjugate base, that is Cl minus, it is a very weak base because its acid is a very strong acid. On the other hand, this B, that is H plus acceptor base, if it is, see, I have shown that if Ha is a strong acid, its conjugate base will be weak. Again, in case of base, if base is a strong base, then its conjugate acid, it will be a weak acid. For example, Na plus, NaOH and Na plus. So NaOH is a strong base, and hence Na plus, that is its cation, is a very weak acid. So here HCl is a strong base, hence Cl minus is a weak acid. NaOH is a strong base, hence its cation, that is Na plus, is a weak acid. So HCl, which is a proton donor, it will act as a strong acid. It is a strong acid. We know that it is a strong acid, but because it is a strong acid, the anion formed from HCl, that is chloride ion, it is a very weak base. NaOH is a strong base. We know that it is a very strong base, and because it is a strong base, the cation formed by this NaOH, that is Na plus ion, it is a weak acid. And because this Na plus and Cl minus, Na plus is a weak acid, it is a weak acid, it is, and Cl minus is a weak base. Because they are weak, they cannot react with water, and hence there is a no reaction. And hence generally the salts of strong acid and strong base, for example NaOH, KOH, they do not undergo hydrolysis. So they cannot react with water. They are cations and anions. Their cations are the weak acids and their anions are the weak bases, and hence they cannot react with water. Now, on the other hand, now if this Ha, which is H plus donor, which is acid, if it is a weak acid, then its conjugate base, it will be a strong base. And if this base, which is a H plus acceptor, which is a proton acceptor, this base, it is a weak base, then its conjugate acid, it will also be a strong acid. So let us see the example of this. For example, acetic acid is a weak acid, and hence the acetate ion, which is formed from the acetic acid, which is the conjugate base of the acetic acid. This acetate ion, it is the conjugate uh, acid, it is a conjugate base of this weak acid, it is a strong base. Similarly, NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide, is a very weak base. It is a weak base. And because it is a weak base, what happens? Its conjugate acid, that is ammonium ions, they are the strong acids. And because this cation, now this cation and this anion, both of them, they are strong. This cation is a strong acid, this anion is a strong base. They will react with water, and there will be a definitely reaction between water and these cations and anions. For example, now example is acetate ions reacting with water to form acetic acid and OH minus. Here there should have been OH minus. So acetate ions react with water, acetic ions reacts with water to form acetic acid and OH minus ion. So acetate ions are acting as the strong base. In the same way, ammonium ions react as the strong acids. Ammonium ions reacts with water to form ammonium hydroxide and H3O plus ions. So remember that conjugate acids of the weak bases, they are strong acids. Conjugate bases of the weak acids, they are the strong bases. And such type of strong acids and bases, that is such type of cations and anions, they will react with water and undergo hydrolysis. So examples are acetate ions, which are the conjugate bases of this acetic acid, and this ammonium ion, which is the cation, which is conjugate acid of ammonium hydroxide. These are strong and they will undergo hydrolysis. So this particular hydrolysis is the hydrolysis of anion, and this particular hydrolysis is the hydrolysis of cation. Now, which type of salt undergo hydrolysis and which type of salt does not undergo hydrolysis, it is clear from this particular chart. So salts of strong acids and strong base like NaCl, their anion is a weak base because this anion is formed from HCl. HCl is a strong acid and hence this is a weak base. Their cation is a weak acid. For example, this Na plus is formed from a strong base NaOH. तो strong base का ये conjugate acid है, इसलिए ये weak acid है. अब ये दोनों वीक होने की वजह से दोनों वाटर के साथ रिएक्ट नहीं करेंगे, देयर विल बी नो रिएक्शन एंड द सॉल्यूशन विल बी न्यूट्रल। उसका जो सॉल्यूशन रहता है वो न्यूट्रल रहता है। ऑन द अदर हैंड salt of weak acid and strong base, for example ammonium acetate, now it is formed from reaction of this, sorry, ammonium acetate, sodium acetate. So it is formed by the reaction of acetic acid and sodium hydroxide. Now acetic acid is a weak acid and hence its base, that is conjugate base, that is acetate ion, will be a strong base. But sodium hydroxide is a strong base and hence its conjugate acid, that is Na plus ion, it will be a weak acid. So this strong base will react with water, but this weak acid, it will not react with water and hence anion undergoes hydrolysis in this case. So only these anions which are acting as strong base, they will undergo hydrolysis to form acid and undissociated acid and OH minus ions, and the nature of the solution will be basic. Now, if we take a solution of strong acid, a salt of strong acid and weak base. Strong acid, that is HCl, and weak base, that is NH4OH. Now here, in case of this anion, Cl minus, we have already studied that Cl minus is formed from a strong acid HCl and hence it is a weak base. On the other hand, these ammonium ions, they are formed from a weak base NH4OH. So NH4OH, because it is a weak base, its cation will act as a strong conjugate acid. So NH4 plus is a conjugate acid of NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide, and because NH4OH is a weak and hence weak base, its conjugate acid, that is NH4 plus ion, it is a strong acid. So in this case, not Cl minus but NH4 plus ions, that is anions यहाँ पर कोई रिएक्शन नहीं करेंगे, यहाँ पर रिएक्शन करेंगे cations, and cations will react with water to increase the concentration of H plus inside the solution, and nature of the solution will be acidic. The third category, sorry, fourth category, it is the salt of weak acid and weak base. Now the salts of weak acid and weak base, they are formed by the reaction of weak acid and weak base. So they contain the anion of weak acid and the cation of weak base. So anion of weak acid is a very strong acid. For example, acetate ion. Sorry, it is a very strong base. Anion of a weak acid is a strong base. And cation of a weak base, it is a strong acid. So both this strong acid and strong base, they will react with water and they will form salt. And the ions. So acetate ions react with water to form acetic acid molecules and hydroxide ions. And ammonium ions, that is NH4 plus ions, they react with water to form NH4OH molecules. So nature of such solution depends upon the strength, relative strength of the anion and cation. So if anion is strong, obviously there will be more concentration of OH minus and the solution will be basic. If the cation of the base is strong, the cation undergoes hydrolysis and more H plus ions will be formed and hence the solution will be acidic. So this depends upon the relative strengths of the anions and cations. So which salts undergo the hydrolysis? Here only this second, third and fourth type of salts, they undergo the hydrolysis. And the first type of salts, they never undergo the hydrolysis. So this is important. That is what we learned. We learned common ion effect. We learned the concept of salt hydrolysis, and most importantly, we learned which salts undergo salt hydrolysis. We learned that only the salt of weak acid and strong base, or strong acid and weak base, or weak acid and weak base, they undergo salt hydrolysis. The salt of strong acid and strong base, they do not undergo the salt hydrolysis. So that's all for this particular lecture, and we will meet soon with more such lectures.